One of life's most difficult emotional situations is the argument. Whether with someone you love, despise, or don't even know, conflict can increase anxiety and blood pressure, if not your sense of discomfort. Some people go to great lengths to avoid conflict of any kind, while others seem ready to argue at a moment's notice. If you're somewhere in between, as most people are, you may prefer not to argue, but are prepared to do so when necessary. The question then becomes how to make the argument go your way. There's plenty of social science research on conflict and conflict resolution. I'd like to tackle the more general question of how to use what we know about conflict resolution to help you in any kind of dispute, not just one with a romantic partner or family member. I've borrowed some ideas from an insightful review by Israeli psychologist Aaron Halperin, 2014, concerning the roles of emotion and emotion regulation in conflict resolution. Keep in mind, winning an argument doesn't necessarily mean being the only one who's right. If your goal is to resolve a conflict, then to win might mean you lose. Here are 6 key argument-winning tools. Know your facts. How many times have you made a claim about some piece of trivia only to realize, as soon as you've made that claim, that you're completely wrong? Inevitably, someone challenges you, but because you don't want to lose, you continue to stick to your guns. This is not an ideal way to win an argument. Stop and think before you make bloopers yourself, and you'll be less likely to lose, whether the matter is trivia or a truly important career or relationship challenge. Be ready to see the other person's perspective. You don't have to agree with a foe in order to see his or her perspective. However, if you want to win an argument, you do need to be able to see the world the way your opponent does. Stepping into the mental set of those you argue with allows you to figure out what's influencing them. Perhaps they're feeling threatened, anxious, or annoyed. Perhaps they know something that you don't. In any case, showing empathy will lower the temperature of the debate and allow both of you to come to resolution. If you can't be open-minded, at least seem that way. Becoming defensive is one of the worst ways to win an argument. Don't let your opponent sense that you're digging into your position without being willing to consider alternatives. If you appear to be giving the other side's position a thoughtful review, then the solution you propose will seem to be far more sensible. Furthermore, your opponent may come to your side without your having to do anything other than listen. By letting your opponent speak, you may allow the situation to naturally resolve itself. Keep your emotions under control. From the Halperin review, it's clear that emotions play an important role in conflict by altering how you appraise the situation. In addition, Halperin also pointed out that being able to regulate your emotions is equally important. If you lose your temper, you'll only antagonize your opponent, which will further heighten his or her wrath, and the process can only escalate upwards. Don't worry that you'll seem weak by becoming calm in the midst of an argument. You'll gain points by showing that you can exercise self-control. Who knows, the argument may even end right then and there, once both of you take a more reasoned perspective. Remain hopeful that the argument can be resolved. Arguments, by definition, involve negative emotions. However, invoking the feeling of hope allows you to think more clearly, leading to the possibility that you'll win by sheer force of logic. Respect your opponent. Many arguments have no clear victors. You may get your way, but your relationship or situation is the worse for it. A successful argument within a relationship remains compartmentalized. Don't let it lead to questioning the entire basis of the relationship. By the same token, don't insult or degrade your opponent. Even if the individual is someone you'll never see again, it's still important to show that you meant nothing personal in the dispute.